Alright, this is the one.
I was going out with this young girl named Carrie. I was feeling sad, you know, because I hadn't seen her in a long time, and I decided to ride my bike to her house. She lived in Malacca, which is about 48 miles away. And I didn't know how to get there, so I just looked it up on a map, and I found probably the longest way I could have taken to get to Malacca. So I'm starting from Blaine, 117th, I believe. No, Polk Street. No. I don't remember which house it was. I left at 6:30. I hadn't slept the night before. You start thinking real fast. I don't know if it's because of adrenaline or... The only bad thought I had in my head was that maybe it would freak her out that I rode my bike that far. So I just started riding my bike. But it doesn't work very well. The chain will mess up. It was real sunny, like pretty hot out. I'd stop, you know, and stretch my legs and look at these people's houses and wonder, you know, what they were like and if they'd let me come in and use their phone. Kept on riding my bike and, you know, looking at the ground, just kind of like looking at how trippy it looked or whatever, because it, like, kind of ended up looking like frame by frame. It smelled bad most of the time because of cars driving by me. But the scariest thing that happened on my bike ride was when semis would drive by. My dad, when he was young, he used to drive semi, and these people were drunk on the wrong side of the freeway, and they had head-on collision. Near Cambridge, I started racing this lady on horse, and she won after she realized I was racing her. Kind of like a weird kind of proof to myself, maybe, that I could do it. When I got to Cambridge, I was like, wow, I'm at Cambridge, should I go back? Can't go back anymore because it's a shorter distance to go to her house than it would to go back home. Kept on riding my bike. Most of the time what I saw was like flat plains and houses. I got off my bike while I was going on the way, and because I'd been on my bike for such a long time, when I got off I started falling around and stuff. They thought I was drunk, so I left right away. And then I finally saw signs that said Malacca. And I went to the town grocery store where they have a free phone, and I called up Carrie. I think I got her dad. Yeah, I just said, you know, is Carrie there? And he said, yeah, it's there. I was like, hey, Carrie. Hi. She goes, I bet you don't know where I am. And she goes, where are you? I said, I'm at your supermarket where you used to work. She was quite surprised, and I don't know exactly how she really felt about it. And I was like, yeah, could you pick me up and feed me some food? Sure. She came about 15 minutes later and drove me to her house. And when I saw her, she didn't smile or anything, you know. I thought maybe she'd be happy to see me, like, wow, he rode 5 hours to see me. But there was nothing like that. She lived in the basement, and they had trumpets in the basement. She's got a nice little dog that runs around and eats cigarette butts. Little frisky business every once in a while. And then she asked me like how I felt about the relationship, and I feel pretty good, you know. I just rode my bike 5 hours to get here. And she's like, oh, and I know, we went about our normal business and ate some food and stuff. And but now later on, I asked her why she asked me that question, and she basically told me that she didn't want to be with me anymore, physically or whatever. And I took that well, I think, considering the fact that I just rode 5 hours to get there. That might have been one of the things that made her want to break up with me. I was just like, maybe too much. And she seemed very upset. She started crying and stuff. I felt let down, maybe, I guess, but I wasn't, like, extremely upset. You know, I'd rather have her tell me that she didn't like me than pretend that she liked me. I'm sure there was some sort of anger at the time. What if she could have told me some other time, maybe? So she was crying. And then when it was time for me to get home, she decided that she didn't want to drive me all the way home because her car's a piece of shit. Dad had just re-hauled it or re-overhauled it or overdone something. I think he basically gave it a new engine. So she drove me about a little bit less than halfway home. And I got off my bike on this 169, I think it was. I was in Elk River for a while and I had to go up hills and down hills and up hills. Came to a rest stop and there was this old guy walking around with a happy smile. He was kind of, he looked at me and he winked at me and then he went in the bathroom. Finally got into downtown Anoka where people like to drive their cars around and I raced a car there, but he didn't know I was racing him at first. He beat me, but it was okay. I was skipping riding my bike and then I finally got home around 12:30. That was about a 3-hour bike ride. But my mom was pretty surprised and she's like, wow. Everybody I told was like, wow. Gary's parents are like, yeah, I heard you did some bike ride.